Hi everyone, I'm Jack. Welcome to the official IslesDen YouTube channel. We're going to be doing a lot more Islanders post-game show and podcasting content for this upcoming season, so if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. You can also find my weekly podcast on Twitter at Isles House, co-hosted by myself at IslesDen, Ethan at EthanGSN, and Rocco at Pizza Sports Guy, all on Twitter. Thank you for joining me. Back at it again. Islanders post game. Finally get to do a recap of an Islanders win. And this one was all over the place. We're excited to break it down. Me, Jack, and Dom. How we doing, Dom?
Dude, we're doing well. We got to win. It's always the
Finally.
games we never expect to win. And then just so Islanders, man. It's just nice to get a W. I thought we were going 0-5, so we'll take this.
Worst, look, the defense, you could make a case going into tonight, was probably the worst in the NHL. Going up against Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl. We got our backup goalie in net, David Riddick. And of course, this is the game we decide to win. Tons to be impressed with, obviously. The game starts where we score first. Barzell capitalizes on a classic Evan Bouchard play. That one will make its rounds. That one will make its rounds. Yeah, that was a rough one. They sent out a few texts to a couple of his haters. Go check that one out. Of course, less than like 2 minutes later, the Islanders to that point, I think, had held a lead for like 2 minutes during this entire season.
A minute and 37. I got the number memorized because it's hilarious.
It was a power play goal for Edmonton, and the narrative of the special teams killing the Islanders was in full force in the first period. And then we head to the second where the Oilers get one. This play really frustrated me because on the zone entry, it's 1-1, game's kind of even. Scott Mayfield, I think, pokes it from Leon Draisaitl, sends
into
it back
the neutral zone. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, damn, like Scotty, I thought came to play tonight. I thought he was impressive. And then, of course, like this guy comes down the wing at Nugent Hopkins, too much space, picks the top corner on Riddick, and it's 2-1. And there was a part of this game where I want to say later in the second period, the zone time for the Oilers, that clock on ESPN, it was going to it was almost hitting 2 minutes. Of course, Romanov and D'Angelo are out there. Romanov has a cross-checking penalty, and it's like, okay, this game's over, but they do what the Islanders did the most un-Islanders thing probably. And JG Pageau just magically found Bo Horvat, who I tweeted was never going to score another goal. Of course, this breakaway goal is so funny too, because watching it like live in real time, Horvat is just staring at Stuart Skinner. He's like,
yeah, he did the
Kuznetsov
the Kuznetsov shootout move where he just stopped.
Did. Yeah, he did. He stops, he stares. He's like, I cannot miss this. I'm not letting myself miss it. He buries it. So it's 2-2. Then the game was just so chaotic. Schaefer goes flying into the boards. I feel like I was like, oh no, please don't be bad. And then he gets up and you're just take a second to appreciate that. No penalty on the play. He'll get that call in what, Dom, like 3 months, 1 year?
Yeah, I don't know. It was close. It looked worse than it was. I thought it was for sure a penalty. It was when they showed it in slow motion, and obviously stuff's happening fast. But I was actually iffy if it should have been a penalty. But I wouldn't have minded if it was. But at the time, we were still mad at our power play, so we move on.
Yeah. And what I mean by that too is like, if McDavid's going down the wing there, he's getting that call, right?
Well, yeah, for sure.
So I'm
dude,
thinking
if Romy landed that open ice hit on McDavid, Romy's getting a penalty, even if it's clean as a whistle.
It was nice to see him get back to his game a little bit tonight. I mean, tonight, I said a couple of days ago on the Isles House podcast, I can't even really tell how it's going with Romanov, if it's more him, if it's more D'Angelo. Tonight, it was for sure D'Angelo holding him back a little bit. Thought he had a good game. 2-2 in the third. The Islanders have an Islanders-like power play. And then, man, the game is just it's just nerve-wracking watching because you got Riddick and net, who was just awesome tonight. I mean, 2-2, third period, they get that late power play call. I tweeted it out. I was like, I hope they finally replace D'Angelo with Schaefer in this moment. They did.
I heard you.
Right away, Horvat, if Barzell finds Horvat for that play that we see all the freaking time, he connects, and then the empty net situation, bunch of scaries. Horvat gets his hat trick, funny enough, but man, the standouts for me are obviously Horvat finally getting the net, hitting the net. Riddick, I thought was fantastic. Like it was timely save after timely save,
Dude, it
wasn't
was
it?
after the shorthanded goal. The McDavid gets he catches Pelech flat-footed, gets around him, and cuts to the middle of the ice, and that's McDavid's every rush goal, and Riddick fucking stones him,
It's just
bails us
so
out.
Yeah, he bailed us out, and it could have been just the most deflating moment in the game because 30 seconds before Pajot's on the 2-on-1, and I'm thinking in my head like only JG Pajot could start a 2-on-1, and it ends with a breakaway for Connor McDavid on the other end of
Right,
the
right,
ice.
right. Because it was a 2-on-1 the other way.
It's just ridiculous, but yeah, great save there. He really held it down, and as I said before, 2-1 Edmonton, and then the Islanders get this shorthanded goal, and then they capitalize on the power play. And Dom and I said during our last show, which was opening night, we liked what we saw from the power play. They didn't score, but hey, tonight they actually got it done, so that was just great to see.
Yep, I agree. They had one power play where they couldn't gain the zone, and then as that crappy power play ended, that was when Heineman took the penalty and right after our awful power play, we put them on one. But then we responded with probably our best kill of the night. That wasn't the one we scored on, but that's the third period, 11 minutes left. We get a huge kill, and they got nothing. They didn't even get a shot off on that kill.
It was
Cleared the zone,
fantastic.
cleared about 4 times, and that got us the momentum we needed, which was late in the game.
They played with urgency tonight. Like it felt like an NFL team that was 0-3 that was like, we need to save our season right here,
Right.
right now. Except they did it against the Oilers, and it's hard not to be impressed. Um, I think the most surprising moment for me was just seeing how comfortable and locked in Riddick was. That's like really encouraging. If we could balance out the workload going forward, if he could build on that, that's going to be important for this team.
No, I agree. He was great. He was just so steady, and he even came out with a couple of 10 bell saves, which you didn't expect. A couple of a one timer off Draisaitl that was 100%
Yeah.
going in short side, saves it
Yeah.
with the flipper. It was awesome. Great to
The
see.
the amount of skill and talent and just the amount of dynamic players all over the ice tonight, and the Islanders being a part of it too, was just something different from watching over the last several years. I wanted to ask you a question. So on Evan Bouchard's mishap that Barzell took the other way,
Right.
I think Barzell was just on the ice for like a full minute and a half, 2 minutes, and was actually going for a change, and then looked at this guy and was like, "What are you doing? Like, I'll take
Yeah, he
that."
wasn't paying attention at all. Like he just like stumbled into taking the puck. It was like when when you play growing up and you're just skating around in warm up, somebody's dicking around with the puck, and it's just somebody takes it off your stick while you're just not paying attention. That's what happened in a live NHL game, and he just great move by Barzy in tight, and he scores, and that was huge.
Yeah, that was a big lift, and I pay attention to like the weirdest things during the game, and like you just look at Barzell going to the bench, and like Sorokin's got the glove all the way out. Like the guys were happy to see him finally get one. Seeing those two being the reason they win the game. I mean, they have their name on every goal tonight, and that's encouraging.
Yeah,
That's how this
they needed
team is
it
supposed to
bad.
be
They
built.
needed it
Yeah,
bad.
they stepped up. They
And the
really
first
did.
period, it looked like early in the first period when the Islanders came out like their hair was on fire, just like they did against the Jets. So you got a post on the first shift of the game.
Yep.
They came out looking like the far superior team, and when they didn't score, I'm like, here we go again.
Yeah,
And then
they couldn't.
Barzell gets one, and it looked like the Patrick Watt pond hockey the first period, and then the second period was a little more Oiler heavy, and the third period was neither team wanting to give much because it was tied. But
Yeah, I
I felt like I watched 3 different games.
Ray Ferraro was showing his inner orange and blue on the broadcast a little bit at the beginning
Dude,
of the game. I mean, this guy
he
is
was
just
killing Bouchard, dude.
oh my god, it was insane. He was killing the Oilers. He was loving the Islanders. He loved what he
Yep.
saw. It's not something I usually get from a national broadcast, so it was really kind of refreshing. So
Right.
shout out Steve Levy, Ray Ferraro. That was a great
Yeah,
call
Steve
tonight.
Levy, Long Island guy, Ray Ferraro, former
Yeah,
Islander. We had a little bit of home cooking, I would say.
yeah. No, it was awesome. As for any sort of low light negative, I honestly have not noticed Anders Lee much over the first few games of the season. Not sure if he hit up that Adam Oates camp again this summer, but I don't know. I hope he gets going soon because they're going to need him to. And even if you want Lee to be traded at the deadline, as of right now, if he continues on this pace, it's not going to get you much of a return. So he definitely needs to get going.
No, I agree. He's been more of a passenger the first 4 games for sure. He's played with different lines already. He's played with Barzal and Palmieri. Tonight he played with Shabanov and Pajot. And he, apart from a couple of big hits on the forecheck and protecting the puck, he was invisible tonight. He had a couple
Oh,
of he had a few pad jams in tight, which I feel like never go in.
I know. I know that he there was
But it's
that
good for
one
the
play.
XG.
I feel like it's so good for the XG that I hate the when analytics people start talking to me about his particular analytics, I get annoyed because I actually
Yeah.
now somewhat understand the metric. Um, so there was that one play where D'Angelo on the power play somehow got a shot through and like it was deflected. It was just sitting there for a second, and you
Yeah, it
saw
was tipped in the
27.
slot and it got to the goaltender and Lee was there and he just started whacking.
Yeah, but I get so frustrated when he doesn't finish those because I'm like, this is what
Mhm.
you're paid to do, bro. Um, After that, one quick thing. The fourth line, Holmstrom, McLean, Cizikas, I actually thought they were pretty good tonight, and I was really trying to pay attention to how I would think they would grade analytically because I happened
Yep.
to come across a Jay Fresh Kyle McLean card last year, and
Very funny.
it was it was
A
not
lot of
pretty.
red.
So that being said, I'm excited to dive into it. I thought Pollock and Pellick actually did their job, and I would have preferred them on the ice in some of the situations that Romanov and D'Angelo were. I mean,
The
when this
6-on-5
pair
at the end for sure.
when this pair is on the ice, Dom, like I am just I'm expecting the absolute worst. Like they start in the offensive zone sometimes, and it just the
Yeah.
second the zone entry happens, it's just painful, man.
Well, the feel I get is that they're not going to take it away, that it needs to be an errant loose puck for them to get the puck and clear it out whenever they're in the defensive zone. They're not going
Yeah,
to hound somebody and actually win a battle and take it away.
yeah. At least Romanov was playing his game, which
Yeah,
we could all
I
have
thought
our
he was solid tonight. He laid the body a few times. He had that
yeah.
big booming shot that he likes releasing in the ozone, even if it's not the best decision at the time.
I always look for it now, man.
Yeah, dude.
Always look for it. Like after
If
you
he's
told me
touching the
that,
puck in the offensive zone, he's shooting it.
yeah, if you're listening, pay attention to when the Islanders are attacking and Romanov is in the zone and the puck goes to him. Like 9 out of 10 times, it's a shot. Like it doesn't bother me honestly because
Right.
I don't want him defend. I don't want him and D'Angelo defending. So just like get it on net and see what the hell happens,
Well, yeah,
buddy.
rather that than him trying to dangle somebody and turn it over.
Yeah. So I think we can move on to the analytical
Okay, hold on. Let me share it.
the
Actually, hold on.
underlying.
I'll have you go. I'll go through each line and instead of individual players because that's kind of how it goes. Where if you're playing on somebody's line, you tend to benefit. So I'll have you grade the four forward lines. I guess you can go by the center, go by the
Mhm.
Barzell line, Horvat line, Pajot line, and then I guess Cizikas was the center, right?
I
McLean was on the
couldn't tell
wing.
if it was Cizikas or McLean tonight.
I think it was Cizikas in the dot.
Yeah,
But
I just
either
saw in
way,
warm up. I saw in warm up that it was maybe McLean at center. So I'm gonna guess. All right, so let's grade out these lines. Um, it's funny because some of these guys had really good games, but a lot of their production came at 5-on-5. I have a hot take. The worst line tonight, 5-on-5. I'm gonna guess it was the Drouin Horvat Heineman line.
they actually graded out second because of how well they played against McDavid's line. Horvat
Okay.
was phenomenal against McDavid. They actually won their minutes. Horvat against McDavid is the big one I was looking at. Played 8 minutes against him, and Horvat only played just under 10 minutes, so like 80% of his 5-on-5 ice time against McDavid. Won the XG battle, won the actual goal battle, 1-0. Outchanced him. Great performance.
Yeah.
So they
I,
were
I
second.
I honestly should have paid attention to it more. The thing that bothered me most tonight with McDavid was when he grabbed Schaefer's stick when he was going to try to stuff that one in. I think he was shorthanded at the time. That play pissed me off so much because there's no way we'd get away with that.
Yep.
um, so Horvat's line graded second. First, okay, the worst line is Lee's line then.
They were third. So you got hold on. Let me put it this way. So I'm going to tell you the fourth line graded out last. They played the least, and you got to think the one shift that they had where Cizikas wears the slap shot from Kulak, they wound up spending the next 45 to 50 seconds in the zone just giving up chances. So that kind of
Right.
tanked them. But I thought they played well, and
I
I think
did.
I think I haven't watched what Wah said, but I'm sure Wah was fine with how they played. What's it?
Mc-
Holmstrom had a nice cut to the middle, missed the
Yeah,
net, but
McLean actually found Holmstrom, I think, in front of the net. I don't know if the
yeah,
shot
from below the
registered.
goal line. Yep.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with McLean. Kind of look, he's an effort guy. Like he's always playing
Yeah.
with so much fire. But I was just a little bit surprised at how much success he had, kind of keeping pucks in the zone, even being sort of effective offensively, like setting up Holmstrom there. I thought he was really good tonight for what he was asked to do. So it didn't. It wasn't hurting so much without Siplikov there. Where I would want Siplikov is next to Horvat. Talk about that another time. Best
Yeah,
line tonight.
potentially in the lead spot.
Yeah. So the best line tonight's it's the Barzell line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they were flying, and they were like as I've been calling for. They need to crush their minutes when Horvat is eating all the tough matchups. Granted, with Edmonton, you don't really have that luxury, especially when Leon and Connor are playing separate. So even so, Barzell has looked very good with Duclair and with Palmieri. I think keeping Lee away from them is actually the better move. I don't know what to do with Lee right now because he's been so ineffective.
It's
But
tough. When you look
as
at
of right now, I don't want him in the top 6.
the long-term outlook with him, it's like this team has bottom 6 wingers. It's like
Mhm.
we kind of need him to be in the top 6 and be a scorer. So his future here is really it's hard to see what happens right now going one way or the other. Um but let's see the defensive pairs. Like I'm actually gonna guess that Pellick and Pollock were the best tonight.
Pellick and Pollock were the top pair tonight. They were fantastic,
They were really good, I thought. And
and they drew the
I
tough matchups again,
I
and they won their minutes.
this game is kind of, I don't want to say it's an enigma, but like when you I'm sure when you look at when you built this team last year or 2 years ago, like these were the types of nights you pictured, like a clutch goals from Horvat and Barzell, Pelican Pollock and Mayfield stepping up and playing really well defensively. Like I thought tonight
Mhm.
was really about the highest paid guys like actually stepping up aside from the goalie, who's
Right, right, right.
obviously not the highest paid, but that was really nice to see. So Pelican Pollock were first. Um, this is tough. Nah, Schaefer and Mayfield are definitely second.
They were.
Yeah.
Their
And
possession
Romanov.
numbers weren't great tonight because they did get caved in a couple of times, especially in the second period when Edmonton was pressing. But they didn't. They bent, but they didn't break. And
Yeah.
a lot of that was Rittich. A lot of that was good positioning, keeping shots to the outside, which is poor for your possession numbers, but great for the actual game. It's good defending.
It was good. Yeah. Mayfield, I thought that's easily his best game of the season, right?
Yeah, he was tight tonight. But by XG, everybody's best game was the Jet game because they
Yeah.
hammered the Jets at 5-on-5. They just couldn't score. But
Yeah.
tonight they graded out nicely. I thought just visually they played great tonight.
Everything was to the side in that Jets game too. Like they didn't really get to the middle.
Yeah,
It felt like
they got a little bit early on, and then they just kind of got frustrated and just started flinging pucks from everywhere
yeah, it was
as they were
one of
down
those
2 goals.
games. Um, yeah, I mean, overall, yeah. So we know who did great. I mean, do you have how do you think Riddick grades analytically? Like, did he have like a higher goals saved above expected, or was it like pretty
He
much?
had to. He
Yeah,
had to.
I'm
He only
actually gonna
let 2
cheat that
in.
one. Yeah, and there were some good saves. Like
Yeah, there were some
Draisaitl.
really nice ones, especially on the power plays and even in the 6-on-5. I can't in the 6-on-5 when I'm watching on TV, I can never tell what actually gets to the goaltender. Like
Yeah,
there'll be shots coming from the point and it just zings into the corner. I'm like, did we block that? Did he save that? I don't know. But the defense was clogging up the lanes in the 6-on-5, and that's kind of what led to them getting the puck and
yeah.
eventually getting the empty netter, despite Emil Heinemann's best efforts to miss it.
I'm curious to see how Shabanov grades out defensively. Like he'll randomly just be able to get it out, and like
Mhm.
he's just kind of he gets a stick lift here. Like he wins battles along the boards, and you don't always see it coming.
I
So
agree.
the more he plays, I'm curious to see that. But I think we got some good comments here. We can go take a look at these and give you our thoughts. Let's see.
Let's do it.
First game, seeing Schaefer. Wow, what a gem. Thank you, Lottery Ball 13. Yeah, thank you very much,
Yeah.
Lottery Ball 13. I feel like once a game at least at this point, since he's still growing as a player, like you're still going to see that one or two plays a game where he is just doing something you haven't seen here in a long time. So love to see it tonight. How did you think he was defensively tonight?
He was okay. I wrote it in here. I don't want to harp on Schaefer. He's 18 years old.
Yeah,
In the
yeah.
first period, I got him once. Bad pinch by Schaefer leads to a 2-on-1. Edmonton doesn't get a shot off, so it's like it didn't wind up hurting us. But they want him taking those chances.
Yeah,
So
and
I
you
get
want
it.
him to. You want him to grow. So yeah, like I don't know. I believe like in the NHL and pro sports, like you have to learn from your mistakes. Like I'm
I
okay
agree.
with him. I'm okay with him learning on the fly. The kid's gonna learn. I can't skate that way. I can't skate that fast all the time. Sometimes
Yeah,
you might be
yeah.
caught.
Especially on in it. I'm calling it a transitional year. The organization thinks it's a transitional year. The players will never say it because the players try to win every night. But in a year like this, we can afford to have those kind of gaffes because the high end plays, the stuff that's going to shine, it's worth it.
Yeah, 100%. Oh shoot, I actually forgot to add this to the stage.
Oh, that's
The
all right. Yeah,
anal-
just you can pull it up for a few seconds. But we basically went through it. The Oilers bottom six kind of feasted tonight. A lot of
yeah,
it was that long cycle when our fourth line was in the zone. So that kind of points towards that. But yeah, Barzell as usual, playing top line minutes, won his minutes easily. The fourth line was okay, but analytically it didn't like them because of a couple of poor possessions. And then the third line, I think, did the least tonight. And
yeah.
it kind of reflects that. They were pretty low event.
Oh yeah, how much longer are we gonna keep Shabanov with those boys, huh?
I think
It's
I'd like to see Shav in the top six, but I think I don't want to point fingers, but I think Lee's the problem.
Shout out to Ian. I love this comment because the first thing I thought of when Heineman took a penalty in the
Oh my god.
second or third is I'm like, I think Heineman might have been benched at one point in this game because his minutes were cut and he gets back on, he takes a penalty, and I'm thinking like Siplikov, I was actually going to say he'd be shipped in a box and sent to Russia, but I was like, I'm not going to tweet that. I'm just going to say he'll be on the
Oh
next
no, yeah,
day.
Siplikov just because we won, not because McLean was the reason we won. I guarantee Siplikov sits next game too.
Yes.
Trying to see,
Yes.
did
I'm going
Barzell
to
take
guess.
any shifts? No, but I went to look because I thought Barzell might have had a shift with Horvat at 5-on-5 in the third period, but there was so much special teams, so maybe it seemed like Heineman took a seat. I don't think so. I'm looking now.
I'm also going to take a look at the time on ice tonight to check and see if just see like all of the minutes. Like I'm curious to see the defense. It felt like Romanov and D'Angelo were out there all the time. Frank DaCosta,
Barzell played 24 minutes tonight.
he played how much?
24 minutes, led the team in ice time.
My goodness.
A lot of it was power plays, but
I got the
Wall
time on
likes
ice
going to
here.
him. I understand it.
Kyle McLean played 7:45. Suzuki is almost 9
Hey,
minutes.
that's more than Max played last game.
Yeah,
Max played something.
yeah. Heineman played about 12:06. I feel like he usually averages out to more. Lee with 12:53. Shabana. Okay, he just doesn't love this third line clearly, but he loves Pajot because he plays those. He plays all situations.
Right, yeah, because if you go by 5-on-5 ice time, it's funny. The only players that played less 5-on-5 than Horvat was Cizikas, Holmstrom, and McLean. But Horvat probably had 10 minutes worth of special teams time tonight
Yeah.
because
And
it got chippy in the third.
Frank says ESPN made me watch an Espanol. 78 more and a Metro title. Golos Isles. Adios, Mike Jack. Yes, sir.
I hope
78
it was
more.
enjoyable. Espanol. Maybe you'll learn something if you're bilingual.
I'm curious. Like watching a hockey game in Spanish, I feel like I would get a headache in a second. Alan
It's
Furin would
probably
be on the
electric.
radio for me. Schaefer is an MFing dog. Yes, he is, Frank. Let's go. Schaefer equal youngest player to ever have a point in 4 consecutive games. Yeah,
Yep.
it's unbelievable.
He had the
Like,
secondary assist on the power play goal, which is that's the Islanders' set play. And I think that was the first or second clean faceoff win we had on the power play tonight. They ran the play and it worked.
yeah, seeing that play actually work, like I was like I couldn't believe it. I was so happy when I saw that go in.
Yeah, but that's
Um,
our second power play goal we have this year after running a set play off the faceoff, and it just works. Well, the
ye
one to Duclair in the Washington game was a little goofy because the pass got tipped,
yeah,
but obviously it was a set play with the seam pass, and it worked tonight.
100%. Yeah, we've seen them try that one for a long time.
Yep.
Um, the other way was big though with the shorty. I don't understand that one. I don't want to see Ilya in net again until Big Save Dave has a disaster game. I mean, we knew this was gonna. I knew this comment was coming at some
Yeah.
point. Um, Sorokin doesn't look totally right. Like he just doesn't look like himself. That you could have made an argument that he is fine and it's just the defense until Logan Stanley scores from
Yeah, man.
actually
From
we didn't see
outside the dot on the rush, come on.
it doesn't even matter from
And the timing is the worst part.
yeah, right after Pajot.
There were a couple of times where like the timing of these Riddick saves tonight were amazing.
Yeah.
Like when every time, even when we let up the power play goal to make it 1-1, the Islanders came out, won the face off from center ice, and had a shift in the offensive zone to flip the momentum. And that's the stuff you need. You can't let things snowball.
Sometimes it feels like this team lets things snowball. And
yes, sequencing is just as important as the production itself. You score 2 goals when you're down 4. It's not the same as scoring 2 goals when you're down 1 and you flip the game.
The amount of times last year where they take a 3-2 lead late and if the puck is in the back of our net less than a minute later, and instead tonight the puck was hitting Edmonton's post 30 seconds after. I was just hoping they would get that one so we didn't have to go through the whole empty net situation and watch McDavid and Draisaitl do their thing. But it was a lot of fun. Those guys,
that was while messing with the lines as well. Right after that goal, he tends to do that after a special teams situation because the ice time gets mixed up. I saw Mayfield took a shift with Romanov after a power play, which will happen. And then after the 1-1 goal, the Islanders got an ozone possession, and Horvat took a shift with Shabanov, and Shabanov hit him with that seam pass. Yeah, hit the seam pass, and I think it didn't jump his stick. I think Skinner saved it. I think he got the shot off.
Oh yeah, it was actually a great save. I thought Stuart Skinner's was
Stuart's fine.
And the other night I happened to be watching the Rangers Oilers game, and this guy literally put on a show. It was
amazing.
I could not believe these chances the Rangers poured on him, and none of them got by. So, scoring on Skinner, I guess, isn't for everyone.
Yes, no, I thought Stu was fine. Stu bailed him out a few times in the first, and we also shot ourselves in the foot a few times. Paul Mary just can't buy one right now. It's tough.
That was like his like whiff in the first period. That's a meme, and I'm glad that we won tonight because that reminds me almost of like the botch shootout attempt that Duclair had last year.
It's just so us where you lose the puck on the shootout.
It's so bad. It felt like that, but Sorokin needs to get his mind right. Maybe a little hunger will do the trick. I don't know. So he met with Wah after practice today. They said that he got some extra work in with him. And, Patrick Wah, as the head coach of the Islanders, I will say I'm not his biggest fan. When it comes to managing the goalies and who can start, who's right mentally and all of this, like I'm good to trust him on that. If I can't trust him with that, I can't trust him with just about anything. What do you think?
No, you know where I'm coming from. I'm not the biggest Wah guy myself. I think he's I don't like his systems. I don't like his line combinations.
They loved it on ESPN tonight too. You see the support guy,
I know. It's just because if his name was not Patrick Wah, if it was like Jacques Saint Laurent or whatever, that might be a real person. I don't even know. But just some random French name, former player. If it wasn't him, I think he gets the benefit of the doubt a lot. But he coached a good game tonight. He played his best players, and it worked out. I thought the line matching was smart. I think defensively the team was it was less busy tonight. There was less high danger chances in tight, stuff like that.
It's he made the adjustment when he needed to and put Schaefer on the power play, and I give him credit for that. We can
Yeah.
get on him. See, we can roast him for not having Schaefer on the first power play unit, but I actually agree with him on that. We have D'Angelo here for a reason. Um, Schaefer doesn't need to play 30 minutes a night. And I know it's not the most popular opinion, but he's 18. This team doesn't appear to be looking like a Stanley Cup contender. It's okay for him to learn, sit back, watch the game. He has a ton of growing to do, and it's
Right.
good that they're not throwing him out there all the time. Give the kid a rest.
Yeah,
And
he didn't want to ruffle any feathers either. You don't want it. Just like I doubt they're going to play Riddick next game.
yeah,
They're probably going
I
to go
doubt
right
it.
back to Sorokin.
Yeah,
They're going to still let Tony get his looks on the power play. It's you brought the guy in to do that. Let him do that.
I
Just
just
and
like
you'll ease Schaefer into it.
I'm
Even though
really
he looks like he's
relieved.
ready.
Like with Riddick, I know we've already talked about it, but I mean, I'm just so it makes me so much more confident in the season that like we can throw this guy out there who just stoned McDavid and Drysaitel all
Right.
night. Like he's gonna be playing with confidence, and goaltending is the weirdest position, and I think all of sports because you can never predict it. The volatility within the position is just all over the place, and maybe we are about to luck into a Riddick season where he can be formidable, and that's a good sign.
That's all he has to be. That's all. As a backup goaltender, you just got to give us a chance.
Yeah. Casey is good after that block shot, right? Just had to shake it off. So I realized during this game when he ate that shot and he was limping off to the bench, like even last week he did that against, I forgot which team he did it against, but I tweeted like, oh, Cizikas took a shot off the whatever and he limped off. But somehow this guy does this once a week and he's magically on the ice for his shift. And
It's insane.
it's pretty amazing. Like Cizikas has definitely lost some popularity in this fan base, telling the fans to stay at home.
Yep,
Um,
guilty.
yeah, he his play might have definitely might not might his play has regressed over the last few years. I'm a fan of him, huge fan, and I was happy to see he got back up. I thought he had a good game tonight. And yeah, I appreciate all he does for this team. I mean, he does not hesitate getting in front of these shots. And I know Dom is getting so annoyed listening to the glaze, but
No, no,
I
I'm actually laughing at my notes from a previous game. Uh, he's this at least this time he blocked a shot from their team.
yeah,
Last time it was the Penguins game. Cizikas limps off after eating Pollock's shot.
yeah.
That's what it was.
Yep, I forgot it was Pollock's shot. Where was Max Cyplosion tonight? I kind of
It's a Pokemon Typhlosion.
Typhlosion. Not a big Pokemon guy, but he was scratched. He has to work on some details in the neutral zone and the defensive zone per the head coach. So I think he'll be back soon. I just hope when
Hopefully.
he's back, he's not given the leash that we've seen with him so far. I mean, when you want to show your coach something and your team, I just don't think it's optimal to give them like 8 to 10 minutes of ice time. It's
I'd like
tough
to
for
see him
him.
get 12 or 13.
Same. I think we both agree.
You get into the
Him,
rhythm of the game. You get some PP2 time. You get to play with a winger that has hands, a center that'll skate. It's like he wouldn't have did anything tonight with Cizikas and Holmstrom either.
no, and you know what? You and I forgot to mention this. So before we came on, Dom and I talked about Horvat's goals tonight. So what's the common denominator? Horvat scores a breakaway goal shorthanded, set up by JG Pajot. Um, Pellick and Pollock were the others on the ice during that. He scores a power play goal. That's Barzell, Palmieri, Horvat, Schaefer. Who's the
Drouin.
Drouin. Those are the guys on the ice. And then the empty net goal, Drouin tees him up. Heineman might have been on the ice for that one. Point
I
is,
believe that whole line was still out there.
yeah, the
Because
point being,
Heineman missed the empty net after a really nice setup from Drouin. Drouin was great in the 5-on-6.
he was.
He missed the empty net. Edmonton goes down the other way. The Islanders still get it back. Drouin sets up Horvat.
I've gone back and forth on Drouin. At first, when we signed him in the offseason, I really liked it. I saw the fit. I thought it made sense. When we got closer to the season, I was like, why don't we just put Siplikov there or Duclair there? Like, I didn't really see it. This guy's been impressive to me so far. I like what I see from him. But the point being, Siplikov, I think we would both be happier in Heineman's position given that opportunity because I just don't know how much longer this is going to.
I do understand the logic though, and I hate it's killing me to defend our coach right now, but that he's utilizing that Horvat, Drouin, Heineman line as a shutdown line, and it feels weird. He's seeing your $8.5 million center kind of being utilized as like a 3C at 5-on-5, but it's working because that line has shut down all 4 top line centers they faced in their games. They shut down the Scheifele line last game. They shut down McDavid tonight. In the first game, it was a Crosby line, and then against Washington, it was a Strome line. So
it makes sense.
It's silly, but when it's working, I'm not going to complain.
It makes a little bit of sense because when you look at the lineup now from that perspective, which I honestly hadn't, like, you have Barzell on the second line, you got Shabanov and Lee on the third. The fourth line, they can give you a little something sometimes. I mean, he does have Holmstrom there. He does have Siplikov there. He's looking for the offense to probably come.
You need more offense out of line 3. That's what it is.
That's definitely true. That makes a lot of sense now. Besides the penalty, top 6 Heineman had a sick forecheck in that third period. I agree. He was hounding, and that was good to see. Did we think when we acquired him we were getting someone that was good defensively?
Yeah, we knew. He graded out outstanding, top of the league. I think he was 99th percentile in XGA as far as defensive impact.
Oh, that's awesome.
He was, and that was on a putrid defensive Montreal team last year.
Yeah. This is so true. Also love Drouin giving the obvious play to Bo for the Hattie. Yeah, I love that. Drouin seems to be fitting right in with this team. He plays, I think I'm a little bit surprised by I don't know. He plays with a little bit of edge, which I didn't really see coming. And he's assertive out there. Like, he wants to get to the net. He wants to set plays up. He doesn't care if you're in his way. He works, man. I'm pleasantly surprised by Jonathan Drouin so far.
So let me ask you, if Drouin didn't score against Pittsburgh, is he passing that to Bo? He didn't already have one?
Yeah, he would have hated to do it. It might have taken.
He probably still does, right? I'm going to choose to believe he still passes it.
Yeah, it might have taken him an extra half second, but I think he still does it. Is it just me, or does Duke look like he's finally finding his stride? I love what I see from Duclair.
Not just you.
Yeah, not just you. I think I kind of owe the guy an apology because I thought last year was him. I've never played pro sports. Obviously, I've never played sports with the injury that he's dealt with. And
I've never torn my groin.
Yeah, I can honestly say I did not understand what that does. People tried telling me. I acted like, no, you're wrong, giving the guy excuses. But no, this guy is a completely different player this season. Awesome to see.
Sounds like he shouldn't have been playing last year.
Yeah, looks like more of an Islanders problem than a Duclair problem. So thanks to him for sticking with us. And
but those two chances in tight in a row in a 30-second span, not even 15 seconds. Oh, I would have loved to see him finish one of them.
Yeah, it was a beautiful.
Would have put us up 2-1.
The thing I liked about it is those were quality attempts. He's trying to eke out Skinner there. He's not just throwing a shot up for
yeah. Instead of just putting one right in the crest, he's actually trying to beat the goaltender. I agree.
His McDavid overpaid 12.5 to have less goals than Logan Stanley.
It's about time. We got to start having this conversation. Is Logan Stanley the guy? No, but I think McDavid he's kind of so pass first to his own detriment sometimes. The play he had where he cut to the slot and he beat Riddick clean. All he had to do was continue skating with the puck on his stick, and he had half a net to shoot at. And for some reason, he tries to dump it off to Troy Stetcher.
Yeah,
known offensive defenseman Troy Stetcher, who's coming around the goal.
That's the play where Riddick was diving around.
Ferraro ripped him for it, rightfully so. It made no sense. I don't know what McDavid was doing there, but he's Connor McDavid. He'll have 120 points this year. He'll probably still have 40 goals, even though he's a bad shooter.
Yeah. Lastly, this is actually a programming question. Are you doing call-ins for the show? So I'm working on it. We will eventually roll that out. However, I was a little bit, underestimated kind of the technology behind it and actually executing it during the live show. The first time we tried doing it, if you were watching, you could see tried to take the call in. It's giving me feedback. I just knew it wasn't going to work. So we'll roll that out.
It was pro move for you to shut that down before before it got even worse.
Yeah, not easy running a live show. And it's like if it's gonna make things just hectic and stressful, it's just not worth it. So we're learning on the fly here. Hope you guys are enjoying it. And yeah, I guess the Islanders go to Ottawa on Saturday. Won't be doing a post game that day. Gonna be on like a little vacation this weekend. So no post game. And
It's a matinee, isn't it?
yeah, it's
Why?
every time I go check these apps now, I'm 3 out. I'm in a different time zone. So I saw the game was at 12 p.m., but I don't know if it's really at 9 a.m. or if it's at 3 p.m. Eastern. You know what I mean? It just
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
confuses
Because
me.
your time zones are still messed up.
Yeah, and like one app will give me Eastern, one app gives me Pacific. So I
Right.
don't
Right. Right.
actually know. Yeah, so they got Ottawa coming up, and then who else do we have? Let's see.
And then we come back home and we have the Sharks. I think that's on Tuesday, and then we have Detroit on Thursday. I might have them backwards though. It might be the other way around.
Yeah, there's some winnable games coming up.
Yeah.
So
Are we gonna get hot?
I hope so,
A
man.
banged up Ottawa team.
Make this show a whole lot more fun if we could start reeling off some wins and have the
Yeah.
energy we have tonight. Because
The Long Island zone, Shane Pinto's off to quite a start.
yeah, he looks incredible. Like now he looks
Yep.
like a second line center. Oh man, it's at 3 p.m. Eastern. Okay, there we go.
Okay, I'll be watching.
Yeah, me as well. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning into this. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.